don't know if you've heard, but migration zones have been broken pretty much since the beginning of the Horde test, and all the way through the release to the life of Rima branch. Less than an ideal time for growing a teno, but it's been a hot minute and I wanted to play my favorite rat horse. Getting started is the easy part. Sanctuary mushrooms provided all the nutrition I would need. My plan was to meet up with Acro, and then we'd go kick Carnos to our heart's content. Meeting up, though, meant travel. With spawning being randomized now, we had spawned at opposite ends of the island from one another. As I made my way onto the path leading to Delta, my tiny little tail was spotted by a raptor. Not just any raptor. A big one. Luckily for me, he wasn't a very good one. A bit of dodging and weaving through the bushes, and he lost me. Even with my blood trail. But hey, I'm not going to kick the gift horse in the mouth. I reached Delta and stopped for a drink while I waited for Acro. Now we're talking. We made our way back towards south. In this particular patch, patrols liked to spawn as far away from you as possible. So naturally, we needed to move to an area away from where we wanted to go. Upon getting there, however, we spotted a pair of adult dilos. Were they actually a threat? Was it worth the risk to find out? The decision was made for us when a raptor decided to pounce onto my back. Of course, he learned quickly why that was not a good idea when Acro kicked him square in the jaw and sent him flying. This moment of chaos drew the Dilo's attention. Acro, king of the snipe kick, punted one in the face, and then me for good measure. We found very quickly, though, that we'd bitten off just a little more than we could chew at our minuscule size. Nope, we needed a new strategy. Crossing the river split them up momentarily. Not that it really mattered given the state of things, but something was better than nothing, right? With Acro fighting one, I did my best to deal with the other. The odds weren't looking good, though. Acro had jumped partway down the upper falls, and I decided that joining him there didn't seem like the worst plan. We knew the standoff wouldn't last forever. Eventually, one of them would get bold enough to jump down and try to face tank us. But we were ready for that possibility. I fully intended to leap into the river. Dinos or no dinos. Acro distracted the Dilos while I fled. A Carno, though, sent me scurrying off the edge of a cliff. I didn't know if I'd be able to get back up. But at least I could watch the clones fling themselves off in an attempt to hit me. Once the coast was clear, it was time to get ourselves back on level ground and finding food. One wrong move and I would fall to my death. but it was fine. I escaped my cliff and waited for Acro to escape his own. Some time later, I was alone and had made my way east to the patrol that had spawned there for me. It wasn't an ideal situation. Fruiting trees would spawn, but without any fruit. So 2 of my diets were non-existent, and I was feeling the struggle. When I saw a Packy, my instinct kicked in. Packy players are notorious for attacking anything and everything. I wasn't going to stick around and find out if this one was feeling the desire to bonk something young and, well, not helpless. I wasn't near full grown, but I was at least big enough to put up a fight. I decided flight was the best option, though. At least until I saw the Carno. I'll take my chances with the Packy. Maybe he's friendly! The sub bit me, but took a tail slam for his effort. The adult, though, that was the one I was worried about. No, I needed a defensible position, and this simply wasn't the place. I moved to the far side of the island to see what they would do, and didn't hear the adult crossing in the rain. No problem, I swim faster. Back into the water I went. He returned to shore, and I returned to my island. A galley happened by, and the Carnos became distracted for a moment. Now was my chance. I leaped into the water and swam to the shore, but the sub immediately changed course and ran for me. Big mistake. I didn't fear the sub on his own. It was the adult I was worried about. But the adult was still out there somewhere. I wasn't safe yet. If I could stall long enough, I hoped I could reach a size that I could properly fight back. When he vanished over the hill, I hoped that maybe they'd killed the galley and he had gone to eat, giving me a window of time to attempt to flee. But I was suspicious that this was a fake-out. So I stopped to pretend to drink. I wanted to make sure he wasn't watching before I fled. I was correct. The instant he saw me on the shore, the Carno made a mad dash toward me. I thought, for a moment, that I could possibly fight back. Surely by now I was large enough that a tail slam would stun him momentarily, right? I mean, yes, it probably would have, but I couldn't seem to land a single hit. Between the lag and my less than perfect aim, all I succeeded in doing was feeling silly. After tanking a few charges, I decided my best bet was to return to my island. After all, I had all the water I could ever want, and my food was perfectly fine, even if my diets weren't. Eventually, I decided I couldn't just stay here forever. Yes, I was growing by the minute, but my diets running out would weaken me severely. I started yelling. Maybe if another teno was around, they would come to my aid. There was not another teno. The only thing that arrived was a pair of raptors. I hoped for all of 1 second that they might decide to target the Carno, giving me a chance to slip away into the night. But of course, why would they do that when they could simply team up with the Carno? Now I was really in trouble. The raptors split and came for my island. I sent one flying, but they provided the perfect distraction for the Carno to make his way over too. I did my best to hold my ground in such tight quarters. But the lag. The raptors went back to shore, eating from the Carno I'd killed before. Gastro healing, I'm sure. The Carno crossed back over, and I decided I'd had enough. I wasn't getting anywhere but into an early grave at this rate. I had to throw caution to the wind and hope that the raptors and Carno had wasted enough stamina swimming back and forth that I could get away. I dove into the pond and swam for the furthest possible shoreline. The Carno didn't see me leap in and wandered around the island in confusion, searching for where I was hiding. One of the raptors spotted me swimming and leaped after me, but he was lower on stamina than he thought. I looked back and watched him vanish below the surface. I didn't know where the second raptor was, but I wasn't going to wait around to find out. I hit the shore at a sprint and booked it for the woods. I was bleeding. I had to hope it would heal before they caught up to me. But with their confusion plus the rain and the darkness, I had a chance. My bleed eventually healed, and I found myself a nice rock to hide on. It wasn't perfect, but it would at least shield me from view. I was safe. So anyway, then the horde test ended and the build moved to the live branch. Which, yay, but also at the same time, there is still the issue with migration zones not actually working for herbivores. I'll spare you watching me regrow my teno on the live branch. Nothing really happened except a lot of difficulty maintaining my perfect diet without relogging multiple times to set new patrols in the areas that I found food. So after an excruciating amount of time growing, I set my patrol in south. I'd found all 3 diets in this spot, and I wasn't going to move until I absolutely had no other choice. Of course, being in south has its dangers. A small raptor appeared. I returned with a claw to his face and a scolding F-call as he ran up the hill. Back to business. A larger raptor showed himself. I see. No big deal. He tested my aggression levels, dancing, sniffing, and then sitting close by. I wasn't feeling particularly stabby, so I returned to my snacks. I wasn't even hungry, but meh. My teno is a fatty and she likes her belly full. Funny enough, the raptor took my non-threatening behavior as a sign of weakness. Oh, buddy. A claw attack sent him scurrying away as well, and I snacked on an orange. The raptor wasn't done. He returned to kick me in the face. Rude. And now his buddies were on their way. I still don't really know what their plan was. I hate to say it, but if your very first attempt to attack a teno results in taking 2 claw attacks to the face, you should probably cut your losses and walk away. Like I said, he should have cut his losses. With one dead and the rest, I mean certainly not fully grown, I expected them to simply walk away. I was more than perfectly healthy, enjoying my snacks and my nice little grove of food. For a moment, I thought that maybe they would. But little Gray from before was determined. By the way, bucking takes an out-of-pocket amount of stamina still. My goodness. I don't know which of them decided that they should probably just call it off. But the 3 remaining raptors took off after a boar, and I laid down to regain my stamina and heal off the menial amount of bleed that they had managed to apply. I headed to the waterfall for a drink. I was running a reabsorption build, but it had been long enough since the last rain that I decided I'd best not keep waiting around, hoping for a weather change. Of course, a Serato thought he'd try and take advantage of my locked camera. I was quite enjoying my quiet little corner of the world. I hadn't seen any other herbivores, so my food remained largely untouched. And though I'd seen some action, it wasn't so much that I was feeling overwhelmed. But peace cannot last forever. A Packy arrived. I don't know about you, but Packies make me incredibly nervous. He was being stalked by a subcarno, and I sprang into action. And then suddenly a dibble was there too. Goodness, where had everyone come from? I chased the carno for a distance. My kick to his face and the Packy breaking his back would have him in a bad way. He'd either bleed out or run out of stamina if I kept on him. He pleaded for his life, and I decided to let him go. He wasn't going to come back anytime soon. I'd found a friend. Although I was still incredibly apprehensive of the Packy, he seemed to be chill. And he put himself in the vulnerable position right by my feet while we drank, showing that he trusted me to not punt him off the cliff. As we relaxed in my little grove of trees, I spotted 2 baby dibbles being chased by a Serato. Not in my neck of the woods. I charged to their defense, the Packy at my side. The Serato fled, but we didn't know until too late what was coming for us. As I glanced over my shoulder, I saw another Serato inbound. And then another. Well, this wasn't good. 1 Serato I could handle. 2, manageable with the Packy's help. 3 was pushing my limits. But we didn't have a choice now. We'd made our bed. It was time to lie in it. Partway through the fight, the Diblets came racing out of the trees. We'd protected them, now they were trying to help. One went down quickly, and the other turned tail and ran toward the swamp. I can't blame him. These odds were not good, especially at their size. The Packy did his best. He wasn't fully grown and couldn't break the serratos, but he kept rushing back in, trying to help me to the best of his abilities, drawing the serratos off so that I could run. I was much too injured to continue this fight. I could only flee. And then the Packy was back again, racing to my aid, like the absolute Chad he was. One last scuffle and I was done. I couldn't loop back in, my injuries were severe. I could only hope that my Packy friend would escape somehow. I slipped into some bushes and waited, hoping that the serratos wouldn't find me again now that my blood had clotted. As the rain fell harder, I was grateful for my reabsorption perk. At least I didn't have to go to the river for water. And then the smallest of the 3 serratos found me. They must have been searching the bushes in the area. He made an attempt, but I sent him packing. I didn't dare chase him down though, not with the other 2 likely nearby, and my stamina still so low. And then my Packy friend reached out in the official Discord. He was alive! I couldn't believe it. We hopped in VC to try and find each other again. I was like, no! The Packy! But I had to run! Oh gosh.
I need to heal a little bit and go back to that area for my food because I threw up everything.
Yeah, I did too. I don't have a new patrol, so I'm like...
Oh yeah, patrol disappeared. Well, the diet might still be there. Oh wait, it just appeared.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
It's actually where I am at. So I'll wait here for you.
Okay.
It takes a little bit longer for me to heal. I'm in yellow. How about you?
I am orange.
Orange? Oh, okay. I'll just wait.
Okay.
Yeah, that white one was still chasing you. I'm like, what the fuck? What should I do? So I act like I was gonna attack him. Of course, I wasn't gonna get close. I was in red health.
Yeah.
But it worked. It went for me. So I'm like, okay, I think the Teno's gonna survive.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. I thought there were only 2, and then when the 3rd showed up, I was like, crap.
Yeah,
no!
yeah. I wasn't able to get a leg break because I'm not a full grown yet. I'm 90%. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I booked it over the hill, and then the green one found me again.
Yeah.
But I kicked him twice in the face, and he booked it. He's like, nah.
I don't know if those babies managed to run away or.
Oh.
Because
oh my goodness, they're here!
They're still there?
Yeah, they're here!
Where are you? Where are you? Oh, you got stem, right? Run.
I have a little bit, but I don't have enough to deal with this.
Okay,
oh, he's faster than me. He's fat. Oh, I'm dead. Ah.
No!
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts below. If you're new around here or haven't already, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Also, merch is available now. Go check it out. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.